Let's go back and forth. What do you think? Right off the top of your head, a restaurant that really, that matters, that everybody should eat at.
Well, I think,
If you,
yes,
given,
yes,
assuming
yes.
you, even if you don't have money, worth sticking up a liquor store for.
Well, I think of two restaurants, and they're very opposite one to the other. One is Atelier Joël Robuchon, and I will explain in a second quickly why. And the second one will be Il Bouilly, because of Ferran Adrià being a pioneer in creating, and now today it's almost a bad word, but molecular cuisine. And so the first one, Atelier Joël Robuchon, is because the quality of the food is absolutely amazing. The technique behind the food is absolutely amazing. I worked for him in the past when it was a fine dining, but classic fine dining restaurant. And he got inspired by the Japanese culture and the sushi bars and so on. And therefore, he created this restaurant where you eat basically around the kitchen and you have contact with the cooks and so on. And in the show in Paris, we went there, and I think this is really something that you should try at least once, because you have amazing food and at the same time this kind of close relationship with the kitchen, and it creates a certain experience. And Il Bouilly, because when I went there, I was kind of skeptical, actually. I was like, okay, fine. He's going to give me 32 weird items. I have to smell, bite this, open the little bottle, smell again, bite something, hear the crackling, and so on. And I was not too much into it, but when I went to Il Bouilly, the experience was actually like a roller coaster, and he was really, really playing with my mind and my taste buds and so on. And I really enjoy, and I think it's going to close next year, so you better to. He's closing forever next year, after being the most creative chef of probably the last century.
Yeah.
Because he thinks he cannot create as quickly as he would like to.
Given the opportunity to listen to, to hear Jimi Hendrix for the first time, I mean, who wouldn't? That's what it's like. Imagine life before anyone ever heard of Jimi Hendrix. Imagine walking into a club and hearing Jimi Hendrix play, or Charlie Parker, or someone like that. That's kind of what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
For me, those are two. I would absolutely agree with those two choices. El Bouilly, probably the most important restaurant. Atelier Jean Robuchon, totally groundbreaking.
Le Bernardin, right?
Le Bernardin, of course. I'm going to give you two off-the-wall choices because you could actually do them, I think. I would eat at either Yasuda in New York or Masa, regardless if you had to, beg, borrow, steal, kill, do whatever, make a porn, whatever you have to do to really eat great, truly great sushi. Sushi so good that as you're eating it, you know absolutely that no one on earth is eating better sushi than you at this particular moment. That is truly a life-changing experience, because you understand that all of the things you thought you knew about sushi are completely wrong. It has nothing to do with the freshness of the fish. It's about the rice. It's about the curated fish, served at the proper temperature, formed by a master, somebody who took 7 years, 3 to 7 years, just learning to make rice. That is as close to a religious experience in eating. A real come to mama, burning bush, holy shit, my life will never be the same. And then I would say Pied Cochon in Montreal, because that's a restaurant run by a guy who came out of fine dining, who, building little towers and very carefully constructed, very refined, who just decided, I'm just not going to do this anymore. I'm going to make the most socially irresponsible, over-the-top, fat-heavy, foie gras and butter-loaded, heart attack food, and I'm going to invite all my friends, and we're all going to wear dirty t-shirts and drink straight through the shift and just make the most completely obscenely delicious food in massive quantities. And everyone who walks in the door, we're going to do our best to kill, in a good way. I think that's worth experiencing.